Basically, now when we talk about the legal profession, we need to ensure that there is an increasing number of black lawyers within the profession. There's also an increasing number of women lawyers, but also importantly that there has to be a geographical spread of lawyers to reach even the rural areas. Beyond that, we're also talking about the transformation of the jurisprudence to understand that because of the nature of our constitution, we need to have a progressive jurisprudence that ensure the realization of, in particular, the socio-economic rights. And lastly, the legal profession has to gain legitimacy. And if it has to gain legitimacy, it must be responsive to the needs of the country. It must also reflect the demographics of the country, as it is the pool from which the judiciary is being drawn from. If the judiciary is drawn from a legitimate structure, that will enhance the legitimacy of the judiciary as well.
All right, you've talked about three things. Let's unpack them a little bit further. 18 years down the line, are we not producing enough black lawyers to alter the demographics?
To be quite honest, we are producing quite a number of black lawyers. We started quite a number of initiatives within the law societies. It started with the reduction of the number of years for training. It also went on with the introduction of the practical law school that reduces the number of years that the young people must be doing articles. But I think the difficulty now is for a many number of those young people getting articles, and some of those that have got the articles that have qualified, and some that are trying to create their own law firms are unable to sustain themselves due to lack of work in particular.
So they go through the system, some of them are not even getting articles, and then lawyers leave the profession to set themselves up, but they're not getting work. Whose fault is that? Where is it going wrong?
I think we need to start with ourselves. We need to start with the way the young people are being educated at universities, to understand that when we go out there, it's not going to be given to us on a silver platter. But also, we have to understand, I think that's why we agree with the minister, that government is the biggest consumer of legal services. The government has got a much bigger role to do in this instance. BLA and NADEL and the Law Society has also taken quite a number of initiatives of ensuring transformation. I think a conversation between ourselves and government in terms of how the minister can realize what he has articulated last week will be a good start after this meeting.
Traditional courts bill, that's also a controversial bill for some. Is that a good idea?
It's important that we ensure access to the judiciary. It's also important that even people in the rural areas are able to have access to the judiciary. But we must guard against one thing. We must not have different forms of judiciaries because of where people are located. It's important that whatever we do within the traditional courts bill is consistent with the constitution, and ensure that equality, whatever is applicable to other people, is applicable to all, in case we end up creating Bantustan legislation.
Max Bokona, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on the program.
It's my pleasure.